If you're wasting a lot of time, there's two things that I want you to do. First off, I want you to waste time better. Now, what does that mean? So, lessons from a guy that you probably don't know if you've just clicked onto this. That's a trustworthy source. What I want you to do is say that you're wasting a lot of time. Like the vast majority. Look, what are you doing right now? You're on the net, aren't you? Again. You do it every day. Be honest with yourself. This is getting too real. I want you to waste it better. So, if you're spending a lot of time on the net, what's a better way that you could be wasting time? Well, right now, for starters, you could get out of your house and walk. Would that kill you? And then you just go around for a walk and that'll oxygenate the body, and as a result of actually using your brain to look at stimuli that actually exist instead of going, duh, funny, oh, that's sad, oh my god, that's not that funny, but I'm going to say that it's funny with my friend and I'm going to indicate that by going, lol. If you instead oxygenate your brain, first off, you'll be happier. Second, you will be able to think better. Third, that's where we get on to the next point, which is that after you have wasted time better, I want you to spend 10 minutes a day writing down what your ideal life would look like. Now, this is what I'm always saying as well, that you've got to write down your goals. If that doesn't work for you, because writing down goals for a lot of people sounds like too hard a work, I know that I do, because every time I think about it, I just think that I'm going to be one of those female goalies in netball that's just always, that you just see that sweaty face on ABC2 of her going, I don't like that. I don't like that frame. What I like is, what would my ideal life look like? I just want you to think about that, because as soon as you do, it becomes apparent what you should be doing with your time as opposed to what you currently are doing with your time, which is almost always just the easiest thing that your brain will go to. But what happens is, if you start writing down what your ideal life will look like, you get excited about it. And when you get excited about it, you start doing things towards it. That's just what happened to me. I started writing it down then. It was the middle of the day. I was wasting a bunch of time on bullshit internet-y things that do not help my life at all. Just someone on the net going, you're a cunt. And I'm going, no, I'm not. You're a cunt. And then I stopped and I just went, you know, there's got to be something better at the moment that I could be. Let me just write this down. Anything. Okay, let's start with that. So I started writing down, and I started getting into state, because I just wrote down the question at the top of the page. It's a really powerful question. What would my life look like if it was perfect in 10 years from now? Let's make that easier. What do I want my life to look like 10 years from now? You write that at the top. And because it's such a long time away, your imagination starts running wild. It's just like, well, I'd be a millionaire with golden clogs, a Dutch goldenaire. And then after that, you start writing down what you'd like for the next year. And then you start getting, and then because it starts becoming realer to you that actually, you know what, if you really did apply yourself, a lot of the stuff that you're thinking about would come true. That is why I'm wasting a lot of my time now, by the way. And this is why I started going to a life coach, which has done so much good for you. So as soon as you're in a position where you can afford a life coach, for the love of God, get one. It's worth it. It is worth it pretty much just for somebody to sit there every week and be like, did you do your homework? No, you didn't. That'll be $150. Look, but what you want is, because I had completed my 10-year goal. I remember all this stuff. This is the constant battle of self-help. This is why everyone always, as I've said it before, how everyone goes, it's just the same shit over and over again. Yeah, because you don't do it. I am a self-help king. Self-proclaimed, yo. And I did 300 books of reading. If you're new to this channel, you'll get used to dumb sentences like that very fast. So I started reading into, it doesn't work after a while, essentially, because you read it so much and you understand that it works, because the things that I wrote down 10 years ago, pretty much completed. Now when I look at that stuff, I think, yeah, it does work, but I've already made it, so you need somebody to sit there and kind of prod you along the way, which is what I'm trying to do, to give you a free resource if you can't afford a self-help coach. I'm just that guy, but just imagine me in an 80s jacket, because I'd much prefer that of just, you know, I was just in a plane with Tom Cruise when he was cool. He still is cool. Why did I say that? He's such a god, that man. So small, but so much personality. Is he Napoleon reincarnate? You be the judge. So, instead, what I want you to do is write down what you will be doing 10 years from now if your life is perfect. Because it starts putting your brain into, oh, well, If I was doing that, then maybe I wouldn't be spending so much time on the net right now. That's where you want to get your brain into gear with. So, if you are currently wasting time, and you are because you're watching this, stop now. This is your homework. Just write down the question. What would my life look like 10 years from now if it was perfect? And then answer that. 5 minutes tops. Just put on some happy music and do that. That's it. Like the video.